So I think now we can start. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and hope Godfrey, you have managed to make. You can now speak, or we can now listen to you when you are speaking, because you have not been audible the past few minutes. And yeah, welcome to this session of Lafford Teletherapy Counsellors. I am Velin Ubiero, and I'm part of the panelists. So today we wanted to discuss about stress and stress management. And as a counselor, I think you also know it's in counseling, stress and stress management can be discussed on different forums, on different. It takes a lot, and we are always welcoming anyone with the counseling knowledge, mental health awareness knowledge, and any other people that have the psychology knowledge that we can discuss with them and get to create more mental health awareness. And yeah, we can start so that the people will be joining will find us on the way. And kindly take a minute or two to introduce yourself. We'll start with I've introduced myself. I'm a psychotherapist. I'm Velin Obiero. And now we can go to Yusha and then Godfrey. When you are audible, if you're not audible, you can just type. And then also Lynette, you can introduce yourself.
So hello everyone, this is Yusha Namdokon from Mauritius. I have a degree psychology with counseling skills, master's in educational psychology. I am been talking about stress and stress management too, adding my part on it. So 5 years experience in psychology, currently working in an association for addiction with women. So it is great to be here today with Lafford Teletherapy. Thank you.
Thank you, Yusha, for the brief and well-organized introduction. And we are pleased to have you on board. We thank you for creating the time. Godfrey, are you ready? Godfrey has been having issues. Before he has been trying, but he's not audible enough. Godfrey. I think Lynette. Lynette, you can go ahead and have a brief introduction. Godfrey, you are not yet audible. We can't still hear you. Yusha, I think we'll just go ahead and discuss, because I think the others are facing different technical hitches, and we can wait forever because we have waited for quite some time now. And
Yes.
today we were.
So, yes, continue. I'm there. I'm okay.
How can you define, or what's your take when it comes to stress? And you can just give us a brief explanation of what you understand about stress and stress management.
So, stress. To me, stress is a response to any demand or challenge. It can be physical, emotional, or mental, resulting from any situation that is happening to a person. Meaning, if that situation requires an adjustment or a response. Stress management, briefly, is how you manage your stress. How can you come with strategies to use so that you feel better when you are taking up that stress you have, maybe emotional, anything. Okay?
Yeah. And if we look at your definition, what are the common causes of stress in an individual's life?
So basically, the most common one I've learned is acute stress. It is a short-term stress that arises from specific events or situation. And there's also the chronic stress, which is a long-term one from ongoing situation or pressures. So this is the two most common stress. But I found out in my research there's another one called EU stress. It is a positive stress that can motivate and enhance performance. Yeah, this is something that I just learned following my research on stress.
So you have talked about acute stress.
Acute stress, chronic stress,
chronic,
and we call it positive stress, which is known as EU
stress.
EU stress, yes, EU stress.
So these are the common different types of stress, the type of stress that someone might have, which is known as acute stress, eustress, and chronic stress. You have said acute stress is a short-term stress, and then chronic stress is a long-term, and then eustress is a positive stress that motivates someone to work on something.
Yes.
I've seen Lynette is now back. Lynette, are you in a position to speak? Or you are still figuring it out? And also, Godfrey, have you managed to maybe work on it? Kindly reach us on the message side so that we can create for you time to come and speak on today's topic. So if you are ready, you can just type so that we see how to engage you. So I think I can discuss about common causes of stress. There are different types of stress, and there are different things that can cause stress in one's life. So we have individual differences, and we have common stresses that are cuts across so many individuals. So what are the common causes of stress in an individual life? Is the emotional part, the physical, is the physical things that can lead to stress. And also one of the big causes of stresses is work and personal relationship. So when we talk about work, we always have work related stressors that can cause an individual stress in different capacities, because work, here comes work, it comes with personal life, it comes with the family life. And how are you going to balance all this to make sure you have a stable lifestyle, or you have a stable program that can make sure you are not stressed on a day to day as you also focus on your work? So I had earlier talked about individual differences. Some people seem to handle stress better than others, and some factors like personality, genetics, and life experiences also influence how different people deal with, or different people come up with on how to manage their stress. Thank you, Godfrey, for contributing on the message box. I'm seeing you are trying to type. Stress is a body reaction to real or perceived threat, event, or situation. Oh, that's an apology. I'm quite sorry. The laptop microphone is letting me down. It's okay. I think today maybe it's not a good day for you, but we'll try next week. So as we talk about stress, Yusha, I would like to ask you, what are the effects of stress on a normal curve or on a day-to-day? What are the effects of stress? How can stress influence behavior or decision-making process? I think Yusha is also gone. So, so when we talk about the effects of stress, how can stress influence behavior and decision-making process? I think most of the time, most people make decisions on emotional level, and when we are stressed, we tend to make decisions that are not pre-thought or pre-thought. Our thought process can be affected when we are stressed, and we can find that we have to make some choices when we are not in a position to make the right choices, and this can also lead into decisions that might not work on a long term. Maybe they can work for a short time, but they can't be effective decisions on a long term. We can also talk about what are some of the unhealthy coping mechanisms that people might turn to when they are stressed. Most of the time we find that when an individual is stressed, we tend to choose to go with unhealthy coping mechanisms, which might be fleeing. At times we find that we flee from the problems that we are facing so that we don't have to deal with them directly. Two, we tend to get into substance abuse so that we don't deal with our problems, but we postpone dealing with them. 3, we always ignore them completely. We just let them be so that we don't handle them. Another one, we can talk of some of the unhealthy coping mechanisms that people always use. We pass the problems to the next person. So you can always find that when we are not in a position to solve the issues, or we can't cope with the problems brought by stress, is either we will pass them to the next person that maybe is not in a position to make the right choices or make the right decisions on our behalves. So I'll just rush through and talk about stress management techniques. We always talk about different techniques when it comes to managing stress. And one, we talk about short-term strategies. There is long-term strategies also. So when we talk about short-term strategies, these are some of the quick ways to relieve stress in a moment. And when we talk about the different techniques, we talk about short-term strategies to work on our stresses. This might not work for a long time, but it can be an scapegoat for some time. We can always talk about some personal techniques that can help calm down the stress, or can help us deal with the stress for a short while. Godfrey, I hope you could be in a position to speak up, but I read the stress is normal occurrence to a person. People manage their stress in different way, but if we cannot manage stress, it results to health challenges like mental health, high blood. I think maybe you are trying to write high blood pressure or high blood hypertension, and unhealthy coping mechanism, which are like substance abuse, procrastination, isolation, physical violence, anger, overreacting. Yeah, I've talked about substance abuse. I talked about procrastination, ignoring the problem, but you still deal with it ahead. Isolation is where someone decides to isolate themselves from the major public. They hide from the public so that they cannot deal with the issues as per the moment, but still they will deal with them on the 4 dates. And then at times they can resort into physical violence in a situation that you can't handle whatever you are dealing with. Some people decide to go into physical war. Maybe they can fight about it. And physical violence is the opposite of fleeing. Some people flee their problems so that they don't have to deal with them. And then there is anger, overreacting. So at times people just decide to run away or overreact to the anger and then face the consequences. Personal techniques, methods is relaxation, exercise. When we talk about personal techniques on how to deal with the stress, or personal techniques on how to deal with personal stress, we always talk about exercise. where you can roll into a gym so that you can release the excess tension in your system. You can also have a balanced diet, which will make sure you eat the right things at the right time, and also you absorb the energy you need for your day to day. We can always talk about have a support system where you can have people that how do we say it, when you have a support system or a support group, it's where you can go talk about the challenges you are having currently, and people can help you look at the solutions that you can find, or the solutions that you can work with. So we also talk about seeking professional help. At times it's good to go out and seek professional help, and you can always find solutions by talking to professionals that can handle the matter in a professional way, because a professional always have the ethics, work ethics on how to deal with the issues. Now that I'm talking alone, it does not have it might not take long, because when we are conversing and everyone was trying to bring in different opinions and different ways they know how to deal with their issues, it could have taken long, and we could have discussed and maybe discussed different questions that anyone might have. So I think I've exhausted what we were supposed to cover. If I've forgotten any, someone can just come on the message and write it so that I can discuss about it. The other thing is, if you have a question, you can also write it on the message so that you can get to answer it. Some will answer through messages, some will. I can also read the answers. So I just received I had only one question that someone was asking: how do you make sure you help or you support a loved one with a stress situation? So when we talk about how to help a loved one or a relative or a friend with stress issues, here one, we always talk about help them seek professional help. 2, you can help them find a support group. 3, give them a safe space to talk, and also have one-on-one talk with them without judging them, and give them the confidence and the privacy, all the confidentiality they need to open up, so that they also feel safe when they're talking to you. 4, you can always engage them on how they want or on what they think about the situation. You can encourage them to seek also medical report or medical help. So I think the others will discuss on the next forum when everyone is ready and everyone has sorted the issues with the Thank you, Elijah, for the question. So Elijah has written, I'm Elijah from, I think it's Catholic University of East Africa. As part of the audience, I can watch people go through stressful situations result to stress, and how can it be managed? Definitely, if you watch someone go through stress, most of the time you can be in a situation that you will find yourself. We always say that when a friend is stressed and he does not get the right way to solve the issue, most of the time you'll get that you'll tend to carry the stress on their behalf. And when you are not capable of giving solutions or coming up with help, you will find yourself more stressed than them or stressed on their behalf. And how can we manage it? Most of the time we advise seeking professional help so that you don't have to, you have a way of dealing with it professionally. We have support groups that always help people deal with the problems. You can have common issues and you can discuss them as a group. And then the other thing is you withdraw from those short-term stress mechanisms, or you withdraw from procrastination, you withdraw from the unhealthy habits that can prolong the problems. So I think for today we'll just say it's been a wonderful session. We'll discuss more when all the other panelists are in a position to give us their time, or we can look for a suitable time to also engage each other. So Elijah, and hope you can have a time to also have you as a panelist. So thank you for logging in for today, and hope to see you people next time. Thank you.